Hello, in this video I'll be reviewing the World Panda Mini MIDI keyboard or World D Panda Mini, and I'll be giving you my honest opinion to see if it's worth it for you to buy it. So let's get started. Hello, my name is Gustavo Silveira and welcome to The Nerd Musician. If you're here, I'm sure you're in look for a cheap MIDI keyboard. And I might have the right candidate for you. Or do I? So beginner music producers always have this doubt about which equipment to buy. And it's really hard because there's a ton of options out there. And we might get confused because sometimes they look really similar, but the prices are really different. And you might have found this guy here in your searches, and maybe you got a little bit surprised with its price. And the way I got to know this guy here is that Banggood, which is a Chinese online store, I think it's an AliExpress competitor, asked me if I could review this keyboard for them. So this is not a sponsored video, they're not paying me anything, but they did send me this for free. So I don't have any agreement with them saying that I'm going to say good or bad things about this keyboard. So I promise you I'll give you my 100% honest review. So before we dive in, we can see this is a pretty small MIDI keyboard for music production. It has 25 MIDI keys, it has pads, knobs, faders, and some other controllers. And it retails for around $69, which is pretty cheap. And if you're watching this during their spring sale, you can buy it even cheaper, like $56. So to see if it's worth it, let's take a closer look. And voila, let's start with our unboxing. You can see that the box is a cardboard box. It's actually good, not bad at all. And here we have our World D, and look at that. We do have a, is that a manual? Oh, and something that I was wondering is that it does have an editor and, Windows and Mac. That's nice. We can edit the MIDI controller, but let's see what we have with the instrument. So it comes in a plastic box. What else would we have? We have the instrument, and we do have a USB cable. And you can see it's a USB mini cable. Not my favorite, but it's good enough. So let's take this off. And the first feel is that, yeah, you can feel it's not an expensive instrument, definitely. You can feel that it's cheap. It's cheap, but it doesn't mean it's bad, of course. But the main thing will be the keys, pads, and etc. So let's see, how does it feel? Compared to other instruments that I've played, other mini keyboards, it's not bad. I would say it's decent. Once we have the instrument connected to the software, we can see how responsive it is, but it's pretty playable. And I will compare with the Akai MPK Mini just to have a comparison, so I'm not like doing a blind test. But it's not bad, not for performance for sure. And if you're curious about my opinion on the 10 best mini keyboards like that, budget keyboards, just click in the link I'll leave here in the video. Okay, so besides the 25 mini keys, we have pads. Oh, I like the pads. They're soft, but they are not too squishy. You can see something that when you press the pads, you can see that the whole keyboard, I don't think you can see it, but the whole keyboard kinda bends too. So it goes down because of the plastic. The plastic's not as sturdy as you'd find in a more expensive keyboard. Oh, faders are really good. They are fast. Sometimes you want a fader that's heavier, but sometimes you actually want something that's light. For performance, I like the light ones, but sometimes for mixing, the heavier ones are nicer. So keep in mind that those ones are pretty light, but they feel good. And Oh, the plastic of the knobs, you can feel that they are cheap, but the feel is actually pretty good. They are heavier than the faders. So I really liked the feel. And we have some buttons here for some functionalities. We have the USB port here. You can see that's the mini USB. Nothing in the sides. And in the back, nothing. You have 4 rubber pads that work really well. So my first thoughts are it's definitely a cheap keyboard. The plastic is cheap, but it feels that it's actually playable and it's actually decent. Keys are not bad, pads feel a little better, and I actually really like the feel of the faders and the knobs. But let's plug to the software. I'm going to plug it on Ableton Live and see how it behaves with the sound, velocity, and etc. Okay, so let's plug this thing in. I'll use their nice USB cable. It's not that long, but we'll do the job. USBs. Oh my God, we have an LED. Okay, looks like it's blinking, but it's actually not. It's just the camera frame rate stuff, technology. You know how it works. Okay, so let's open a piano. So let's see how it feels. It feels that the velocity, it's not great, but it's pretty decent. So the idea of this keyboard is not for live performance at all. It's for you in the studio, in your home studio, where you want to put your ideas in the software and control a couple parameters. But you can see you can get the velocity. It's a little hard to get a smooth velocity transition. It's fine. Let's try the pads now. Let's try some drums. So I have some drums loaded here, an 808, so let's see how it feels. It actually feels pretty good. Sometimes I don't know if it's me that I'm really bad finger drummer or if it's the pad. Let's try something with velocity. The pads actually feel nice. They do have velocity and they're pretty playable. Of course, if you're looking MPC quality pads, they are not the same, but they're not that far away. So keys okay, pads okay. Let's try the knobs here. Let's add some effect, something, and let's see how it's to control something here with the knob. So you can see that the fader is actually really fast, really responsive. And the knob too. I actually really like the knobs and the faders. The knobs, I mean the potentiometers itself. The plastic knobs are not that great quality, but they do have a nice feel. and they are really responsive. So this is actually the thing that I liked most so far. We do have a pitch bend in the button. Which I feel it's quite useless. I don't know if you ever will use a pitch bend in a button, but you have it in case you want it. And here we have an octave change. You have 4 LEDs, but they actually don't show always the same octave, because here, then it's over. So it's a good guide, but it's not a great guide. But usually you don't even have 4 LEDs, you just have the LEDs of the button. So this is better than normal, I think. And we have this button here, CC mode, that if you press, you can see in my MIDI monitor that now I am sending MIDI control change. So it's quite useful for you to map things. Although the pads here continue sending notes. Maybe there's another button that you can change, but you have the option of using the keys as CC or notes. So this is the Panda Mini, and I'm not going to enter into details about the editor and all the other stuff, because I think the main thing here is that is worth your money. Are the different parts good? Is the build quality good? Can you take it to the stage? Can you take it to the studio? Or can you just put in your backpack and travel the world with it? So guys, do I think it's worth it? Well, it depends. If you are a beginner in a tight budget, yes. The most important thing is getting started. Sometimes we get stuck in this which one is the best equipment and we don't make music. And luckily in the MIDI controller world, the quality of the plastic, it's not going to make any difference in your sound. So I think it's pretty usable. You can record your ideas, you can use the pads. I actually really liked the faders and the knobs, but for example, if you're a professional, you already play the keyboard and you want a small MIDI controller, I suggest you to pay a little bit more and get a better keyboard. And if you want to know how this compares to a much more expensive keyboard, for example, this one retails for 120 and this for 69. So the plastic of the Akai is way better, so it's going to last more. But the keys are not that better because the keys of the Akai are not that great. I don't see much difference in the knobs. This one has faders and this one doesn't. And the pads of the Akai are way better. And actually, if you want a complete review of the Akai MPK Mini, I'll leave it here in the description. And if you want more tips on small MIDI controllers, I have a video on my 10 best portable and affordable MIDI controllers. And I would definitely add this one just because of the price. And I think that the price itself is a winner, and because it ships from China, you can get a pretty cheap shipping. And if you live in a country where things are really expensive, like I do, I live in Brazil, maybe that's a really good deal for you. You can get for almost half of the price of its competitor. So guys, to summarize, it's a good keyboard if you are a beginner and if you are in a tight budget. If you are more professional and you have a little bit more money to spend, buy a better one. If you don't, this will do the job. And you can enjoy the spring sale on Banggood and get it for an even cheaper price for around $56. And if it's not spring sale anymore, you can use my coupon in the description and get $5 off. So please let me know in the comments if you already tested this keyboard, what's your opinion, or if there's another keyboard you'd like me to review. And of course, if you think that was a useful video for you, please give that a like. And if you didn't subscribe, please subscribe to this channel. And that's it. Ciao.